It's D-Day here. Let's see how that thing dried here. This is the beaded hollow form I worked on December of last year. I've been holding it all together in a paper bag, hoping it would, oh, we did get a crack. Look at that. Well, it's not terrible. It's not beautiful, but it ain't terrible either. Goes all the way through, so I think we can drill that out. Maybe wire it up a little bit. Put something, some embellishment there. And then I'll clean out this inside. I'm gonna have to hand sand a bit. And I think I'm gonna gold leaf it. So all in all, it's such a neat piece. Don't want it to go to waste, but I do think I can't put it out and display it if it's got a big crack in it. So yeah, let's get out a 16-inch drill bit, some copper wire, and get to work. We'll start out by just putting out just a clean terry, just to kind of keep the ground here from, or the table from getting there. We're gonna have to drill our holes in each of those beads. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go find a tall enough 4x4 where I can just kind of stand this up, keep it in a nice firm spot while we're trying to work drilling our holes. We're gonna start all the way up here, and we're gonna equally space them all the way down the crack until we get to the very bottom here. We'll do one on the outside of this bead, and then we'll feed it through in a crisscross. So each of the copper beads is just gonna go across our crack. We'll try to equally space that so it looks nice and follows that line down. And inside, we'll cross over and then back through the holes. Cross over, back through the holes. So it'll look like a little zipper on the inside. It should end up being a pretty neat look and a great way to salvage this piece before we do the final finish. So all I've done at this point is I've cut myself a little 4x4 post here, just a standard construction grade post. And I think we can, felt like I should be able to get through that. The mouth opening's bigger than that. Oh, there we go. I want to have to go take that and turn it around just so I can drill holes in it. But that should give us a nice spot to keep it nice and level up on the table here. Of course, if you have some other mechanism for doing that, it can really pay off to have a, you know, like a bunch of the guys make special chuck adapters and stuff where you could have just kept it on the chuck maybe to drill the holes. I don't have anything like that. So let's start out one row above. Now I just have a 16-inch drill bit. I'm going to be using a 16-gauge copper wire. It's jewelry wire. It's not electrical wire. So it should be pretty soft and easy for us to maneuver through there. But we'll go ahead and drill one set of holes above where our crack starts. So we have a place to start. And it's not a very thick wall, so it's pretty easy. And we'll make it far enough that we can at least bend our wire easily. Once I have that one set of holes drilled, I'm going to go up and try to stay that same distance across each of the cracks, going in between the beads. I know that you probably can't see with my hand right here, and I don't want to drill with my offhand. So here, we're trying to drill a hole. Very thin there. A little harder there because I'm drilling into the 4x4 post. And then we'll move up to the next thing and keep our equidistant spacing on both sides of our cracks. Okay, I will speed through this now for you because it's just a matter of drilling some holes. But I'll move the camera to the other side so you can see exactly how I'm managing that. Hopefully you can see a little bit better there. Again, I'm just eyeballing this, trying to get it about the same distance on both sides of the crack. There's no real magic to it, but you want to keep the aesthetic the way you want it. So you keep your holes, try to keep them as equal as you can. And again, this is a 16th-inch drill bit for a 16-gauge wire. And as we go around the edge here, our big goal is to make sure we don't pierce our beads. We want to keep it inside the grooves of the beads. Now you might have a different aesthetic than that, and you might say, hey, you know, actually I want it to be through the actual bead itself, but I'm going to put the wire recessed between the grooves and our beads. So I think aesthetically that's going to be the best look. My poor little shop dog does not like the sound of a drill. Now at this time, I'd love for you to leave me a comment. Let me know if this is something that you would try, if you try to fill this, or you just abandon a piece like this at this point. And if you do something different, I'd love to hear that too. And as usual, for 2026, I've been trying to get you guys, if you do anything that we're talking about in one of the videos, if you would take it and go ahead and post it over on our community page, that would be awesome. I'd love to see what you've done. Because that's the coolest way to know, you know, if these little ideas are helping you out, or if they're just more noise in the world out there. And I love seeing what you guys do. On the herb stripper pot video, a couple people posted their versions, and that was a lot of fun for me. I really enjoy seeing what you guys are doing with the ideas, and if you're learning stuff. And a lot of the comments you guys leave help me learn things, because I'm always trying to find new ways to do things. And this is kind of a first attempt at something like this. So we're going to start on this rim, and we're going to stitch it all the way down to there with the copper. And I'm going to probably have to tap that stuff flat with a screwdriver and a soft mallet so we get it nice and tight in each of these areas. And I think I get the radius tight enough with the spacing of the holes that we shouldn't have an issue. Now let's take a look. I have to get rid of this terry. It's sticking to everything. And I guess I'm not protecting anything right now. So we do have a few cracks on the other side, but they're not all the way down. I don't think those aesthetically are going to cause a problem. The pith of the tree really held together well. I'm surprised. The actual crack came through secondary pith in this crotch. So we have 4 crotches in this particular section. And we paid, you know, we got a nice little blank of it. So I'm going to go ahead and set up now. We're going to start the stitching. I'll start the first one down up here, and then we'll work our way through that inside out. It's probably going to take me 45 minutes to an hour to do the full process. Once I've done the first couple of stitches, I will go ahead and back out, put it on a time lapse, and then you can kind of see the whole process without having to go through the repetitive stuff over and over again. Okay, to start this out, I've never quite done it this way, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to feed our wire into this hole here on the side and bend it off on the inside to give us kind of like an anchor. And I'm going to bend it away from the other wall. So if you see inside there, I bent it away from our other hole. And now we're going to have to start all the way on this end like we're lacing a shoe. And we're going to line it up through the second hole, and we're going to have to pull it through. Now it's going to take some time and some patience, but I think in the end we should end up with a pretty cool looking repair here. Or not a repair, look, I'm going to call this an embellishment. We're not even going to call it a repair. This is an embellishment. So at one point, I'm going to probably have to get a plier in here and hold both ends to hold it down. But I'm basically just pulling it through like I'd be lacing up something. And copper wire, especially jewelry copper wire, it's very soft. It should be easy to manage to get it through there. And if we have to pound it down once we get there, we'll do that next. So I'm looking at that. I don't like that loop sticking out. And I really don't think I can pull it any tighter, so we're going to actually pound that flat. So I will go ahead and grab a mallet and something long and flat. Okay, after reconsidering, I looked over and I really couldn't find a way that would not potentially crack our existing fixture by trying to tap that in tighter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to line it up perfectly with where we want it across that line, and then pull it tight with a pair of pliers. So don't know if I can do that while I am trying to film, but I'm just going to get on top of the thing, use just a little tapping power from my hand to line it up in the middle of that crack there. And then that's the embellishment. That's how it's going to look. It's pretty tight right there. Now we're going to go to the inside, which I have to see if you can see. So on the inside there, you can see our crack and our holes. I'm going to cross thread that down to the bottom hole and then back across. So it'll cause a zigzag inside, but it's going to create just a loop bead on the outside. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to bend up our existing wire. We'll snip that off with pliers at the end, but we want it nice and tight so the wire doesn't slip. And then we're going to come across and insert our wire into that hole and pull it through. So you can see this is going to be a long process when you've got, when you've got 24 holes there. This won't happen overnight, but you'll see the idea, and then we'll come back and look at the finished process, and I'll go ahead and put it on time lapse. Okay, you can see I tried pulling it through. I tried lacing it up from the inside, and what ended up working the best was fashioning individual staples basically across here, cutting them the thickness of the wall. So I still have the holes inside, which is not what I wanted for aesthetically. So I think when I gold leaf the inside, those will disappear, but I'm gonna also have to get in there now and trim up the rest of that copper. So it's a very small confined space. I'm gonna get a small little cutter that I can cut as flush with as possible. And then I'm gonna get out some gold leaf and leaf the inside. But first I'm gonna take this over to the wheel and I'm gonna buff this whole thing with carnauba. I might try a little white diamond on the copper just to see if we can get it buffed back up, but I think it'll still look pretty cool like that. And from most angles, you're never even gonna see it, but from when you pick it up and you see that, I think that shows some artistic intent. And I think it makes it look pretty cool. So I'll go about prepping this up. I'll bring you back after we've got this polished and waxed on the outside. And then I'll look at what kind of metal leaf I have available. And we'll start doing some metal leaf. For that, it's just a patient process. The nice pair of tweezers, lay it down, brush it down nice and tight, work yourself up to the rim. And then we're gonna try to get the gold leaf to come up just to the edge of the rim. It's a pretty interior still, and it's very smooth. I'm surprised that it dried so smooth. There's almost no tool lines at all in there. But the holes and the cracks and stuff, I think will make gold leafing it look a lot better. All right, well there it is with the embellishment and all waxed up on the wheel. You can barely see the embellishment unless you're looking for it. I'll try to get down here as it comes around. And it's just basically turned into copper staples, which was not what I wanted, but it still provided a pretty cool look. The interior, it's a rotten cherry crotch. So I'm gonna go ahead and prep that up, size it, and then I'm gonna use gold leaf. We'll see what we end up doing in the end. But for now, it's a pretty cool form, hollow. It's got a nice sheen to it, a really interesting texture. I ended up naming this one Follow-Up, because I'd spent a bunch of time trying to turn these wet things and dry them, and I go back to the bag and pick them up and and see what I can come out of them. And it's real exciting for me, and it's a lot of fun to see something just come together in a more artistic nature than just a kitchen bowl or a utility piece. I'd love to hear what you would have done. How would you have dealt with that crack? Would you just abandon it, or would you had a different method of filling it, or you stitched up with leather or something a little easier to work with maybe? I don't know, I'd love to hear what you guys would do. So there it is. Hope you guys enjoyed kind of just seeing my process, a little of the artistic nature of what I'm trying to do with this kind of stuff. Get up under there, you can see kind of like a weird beehive, huh? Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate you spending time with me. Your comments, your likes, your subscriptions really do help me grow, and your input lets me know what you want to see and gives me places where I can grow and improve, and I really appreciate that as well. Until next week, get out there and turn something.